first one is a resolution that the board will consider. Kind of got thrown on the agenda yesterday, and Matt Chatfield, the executive director of Webster Economic Development Alliance, is going to take the podium and just kind of give a couple-minute explanation of why we're considering this resolution.
Okay. Thank you. Matt Chatfield, executive director of Webster Economic Development
I'll take
Alliance.
your mics and loops.
Is it on now?
Oh, yeah.
It is. This is amazing. Power of technology.
Yeah.
Okay, so earlier this year, actually at the end of last year, in December of 2022, New York State created a new funding program for economic development infrastructure projects. And the goal of those projects is to create sites that are what we call shovel-ready. In other words, to proactively invest in infrastructure that will make sites across the state of 40 acres or larger, for the most part, large industrial scale sites that would make them competitive against other locations throughout the country when vying for large corporate investments, creating jobs and putting in factories, manufacturing facilities. So the state's program is called FAST New York, Focused Attraction of Shovel-Ready Tracts. And we currently have one tract in particular that we would consider of a higher priority. It's been moved along the chain. It's a property that has been before this board. It's the 100-acre facility owned by Burroughs Brothers on the eastern end of T-War Road, so it's east of Basket, between Basket and County Line. That property has been garnering quite a bit of attention within the state. We have had several prospects interested in that property. And part of this program indicates that there's industries that are interested in moving to New York State, and what sort of requirements do they have? From a power perspective or sanitary sewer demand. And the goal is to make individual sites, bring them up to par with the demands of industry so that they can react quickly and be able to attract investment in a quick way, because it's a very competitive environment. If you can't react quickly, an investment will move to another state, right? So part of the competitive nature is to be able to react rapidly. So this program allows us to secure funding that would be proactive in upgrading infrastructure. In particular, what we're considering is investments in a roadway extension, investments in some sanitary sewers, and potentially the potential expansion of capacity as needed at the treatment plant for sewer. So that's a very succinct way of putting it. I'll gladly add more detail, but I'll open it up for any questions.
The application you're looking to make to this is by tomorrow?
We are hoping to submit our application tomorrow, yes.
And,
As part of the application, we would like to have either a resolution from the board to support said application. Right now, there's no matching requirements per se. It's not committing the town at this point to any hard and fast commitments for the investment, but we're basically throwing our line in the water to see if the state feels that we make a compelling argument to garner state support for our sites here in Webster.
any questions or comments?
No, so we're not mandated to commit to any financial support at this point.
No.
Love for you to.
Never to submit the application.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
clearly, if the dialogue moved forward, there would be a point of commitment, but we're not at that point just yet.
Well, I mean, one of the reasons, I don't like throwing a resolution into a workshop, and I certainly don't like throwing a resolution on the agenda 24 hours or whatever before a board. But, when you were talking to me the last couple of days, we've said, one of the things we want to do with our grant strategy, which there's a presentation on today, in taking a piece from the playbook that you did on Restore New York for West Webster. you put the best package together. You know what I mean? You don't lazy it, you put as many pieces in there that will impress the recipient of that grant application. And it, to me, is like, well, heck, if we can show that the town board, you know, said a resolution showing it's not just a support letter from the supervisor, but the town board made a resolution. It shows a consensus of the governance. To me, it seemed like a pretty low-hanging piece of fruit to throw into there. It's not the be-all and end-all in this application by any stretch.
No, it's not.
No, but that's it. And since I'm the supervisor, I don't want to make that motion to authorize me to sign something.
I would move that the town board authorize the supervisor to sign a town support letter for Fast New York grant application.
Second.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Supervisor Curry?
Aye.
Thank you, Matthew. And I know we got to tie that up and put it on letterhead.
Yep.
He signed it.